Good afternoon, Demon Phil here with the new show, which is Comic Legion. And I've got my guest co-host here, Fleur de Villainy.
Hello.
Welcome to the show. And we've got a few people in here. If you'll let me know you can see and hear us, I would appreciate that right off the bat. And then also get this shared out. We need to make sure we got some more people in here watching and seeing what's going on with the show. I'm going to give this about another minute to go ahead and go through that and make sure everybody can see and hear. That's important. And then we're going to get going. Let me go ahead and explain what the show is real quickly, since we are doing a brand new show. So each time that I'm going to be up here doing the show, we're going to have a new guest co-host that'll be up here. Now, why would I do that, would you say? Well, that's because they get to have up to 15 minutes to talk about their project. Then we're going to go ahead and start hitting into some of the current Kickstarters and Indiegogos that are going on right now and see what they have available. The main difference is we are only going to be talking positive about anything that we see. There is no negativity, there is no criticism, anything like that. So it's just letting you know what's out there, giving some positive insight, and then move on to the next one. So that's what we're looking at doing there. And Scott says he can see and hear loud and clear. Thank you very much. Dan is here as well. Thank you very much. So let's go ahead and get started with this. So Fleur, you've actually got a project that you've got going right now. And I'm going to go ahead and bring that up on the share screen so we can talk about that. There you are.
Hey, Phil, there I am. Hello, everybody. Hello, and welcome in. So my name is Krysta Crawford, but many of you know me by Fleur de Villainy. And I am the creator and artist behind the comic book series Wolf and I. So Wolf and I is a fantasy comic series of a fantasy adventure. And this is actually book number 2. So book number 1 released earlier in Kickstarter back in February and got shipped out in May. So now we are in the last week of the campaign for issue number 2, Magic Rising. And the exciting news is, as of yesterday, we officially hit our funding goal, which is super, super fun. And then this morning, we hit our first stretch goal. So we're super, super excited about that.
The campaign itself, I mean, it looks very interesting. And I wanted to go ahead and like I said, you've got the time on this one up to 15 minutes. So we want to go ahead and talk about it. So what exactly is the story? Because I know we've got it written down in here and everything, but what is your elevator pitch for Wolf and I?
My elevator pitch. So Wolf and I is a fantasy adventure comic book series. It follows the story of the main character Violet and her best friend Sophia. They're in their last year of college and they're just doing their college thing when mysterious things start happening. They start seeing things that are out of the ordinary. They start getting like premonition feelings and they start getting chased by this wolf. And so they're trying to figure out what's going on and why these things are happening to them. And that's when they uncover the background story of who Violet really is and her parents' like secret that they've kept about their past away from her.
Very cool. And going through the layout and everything is set up. I like the layout on here. It's easy going. It's not like you have 75 different covers and different variations and different things like it. You go through and it's very easy going on the eyes. And then it kind of depicts the story in each of the covers, which is nice too, because that way you have different variations you can go through with that as well. So how did you decide the different ones that you wanted to have for the variants on this?
So it was a little bit of, combination between some creative input from my side of what I was kind of expecting out of the covers, but mostly I picked out creators and I was like, hey, this is my comic. This is what the story is about. I really respect you as an artist. I love your art style. Do you want to do a cover for me? And I said, I want to cover that's depicting either the main character or the main two characters. And I kind of gave him a description. I said, and run free, do as you wish in your own style, because I want to have a different variety. I don't want, a cover that's just exactly like my cover. I want you to be able to tell people the story of Violet and Sophia and the wolf that you'll get to learn more about in later issues. In their style. That way, not only does it, promote, a different variation that people who want to back the Kickstarter can collect these limited edition covers, but it also helps out these creators to get more people, because, combine our communities and cross promote.
Very nice. And like I said, we've got a few different variants on here and everything. We've also got a cosplay cover, with an interesting look on there, because it's something different that you don't see on your regular cosplay covers. How did you decide on that particular cover?
So that was an interesting experiment that I did. I have been doing aerial arts for many, many years. And with that, I've incorporated in the main character doing aerials and doing dance, because I feel like in later books, it's going to be able to create a more magical feel as we continue through the story. And so I was like, I want to do something that's different, that's not just your typical cosplay cover. And especially since my character isn't like a superhero with your typical superhero suit, I was instead personifying some of the attributes that she has.
Nice. And so you do the interiors as well, or are you writing and doing that, or how are you doing all of this?
This is a one-woman show. I wrote the story. I've done the sketches, the lines, the flats, the inks, and the lettering.
Yeah, you're right. It is a one-woman show, absolutely.
But no, and so the other thing is, not only did I pull in 3 artists to do variant covers for the comic book, I also am bringing in a jeweler to do custom crystal embossed covers as one of the tiers. You can choose whichever cover of your choice, and it's going to come with a certificate of authenticity included with the comic.
Very nice.
But I've got some really awesome artists on this run. All of the ones that are on the run for issue number 2 are Arizona local comics, because just promoting like our local artists here. So you have Flying Frog Illustration, who's here from Tucson, and she did an amazing hand watercolored piece that's at the front. And then you have Sam Sawyer, who did the amazing digital wolf and Violet cover. And then Alfred and Kara Nicole worked together to create my little bit more spicy cover. All of
Moonlight, right?
I'm sorry?
That's the Moonlight cover?
The Moonlight cover, yeah. And so all the covers that are so the covers are all going to be on metallic. There is an option for like a standard comic book cover of the main cover, and that's like our lowest level tier. Everything else is going to be on high quality metallic stock.
And this is some of the interior we're looking at right now, so you can kind of see what you're getting inside of the, behind the cover, because there is stuff underneath there, believe it or not.
Yeah, this is a sneak. Those are kind of sneak peeks. Some of them are from issue 1, just so you can see the art style, just so people know what to expect. Because don't judge a book by its cover. I know that collecting comic books is a great appeal because you can bring in so many people that have great art, but you have to remember that it's a comic book. There is this great story and there's great art on the inside.
And we've also got, you said we just made stretch goals, so we've got the sticker that'll be coming as well.
Yes, so that's a picture of our metallic Wolf in the Moon sticker that we officially hit the first stretch goal on. So everybody who backs the Kickstarter is going to be getting the metallic Wolf in the Moon sticker. Our next Kickstarter, or our next stretch goal, is going to be at $2,000, and it's going to be a metallic foil character card.
Very
which I
nice.
believe we're only like $250 away. So we're very close to hitting our next stretch goal.
Oh, excellent.
I'm excited for our $3,000 stretch goal because it is going to be an enamel pin. With issue number 1, I love stretch goals. I love that, getting able to give people who support the Kickstarter from the beginning extra bonus things that'll either be like purchasable later, but they get for free, or that'll be limited edition that they can't get again. So one of the things that people who backed the first Kickstarter back in February is they got an exclusive come on camera, enamel pin of the wolf. So that was kind of a fun surprise that I'm like, hey, thanks for backing. This is what I'm going to give to you guys.
Very nice.
Yeah, so I've got a lot of stretch goals planned for in the future. And then as you scroll down, you can kind of see the swag that we gave out for issue number 1. So we gave 2 different stickers. We hit a button pin stretch goal, the enamel print stretch goal, and we actually hit 2 print stretch goals as well.
Because everybody loves swag. I mean, we all know that.
I'm not going to lie. I'm a big swag person. I have stickers on everything, on all my, hydro flasks. I've got my pins on my lanyards for work. So with the Kickstarter, I also have add-ons. I've got a couple tiers that have book 1 and 2, but if you want to get one of the exclusive variant covers from Alfred and Kara from Flying Frog or from Sam Sawyer, and you still want to get issue 1 if you missed out on that, you can overpledge by $10 to get a signed copy of issue 1 sent in October with issue number 2. I have the wolf enamel pins as an add-on. I have a virgin cover option, so you can get the comic printed without a title on it for an additional $5 over pledge, a print pack, and then something that I'm trying out this time, I didn't offer with the first one, is grading. So I am offering, if people want to over pledge for grading, we can send them directly in once they come, from the printing to the grading office, and then once they get graded and shipped back, I'll ship those out.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like a great campaign and everything's set up very well. I love the way that the colors and the concept of the book itself has got my attention. I'm actually a backer. Yes, I will say that out loud. So I'm waiting for my copy to come as well. And if you're okay with it, I would like to do an online review for it as well whenever I do get it.
Of course.
I would love to do that for you. But I'm looking at everything that's involved in here. Everything looks great. You've got some great pricing on the tiers, so everybody can get involved in some way, form, or fashion. Mm-hmm. Even if you go to the baseline cover on here, at least you're going to be a part of this and be able to enjoy what's going on, because this is something that I would imagine this is not stopping at issue 2. This is something you want to keep going with a little bit as well.
Yes, I have many issues planned. I don't have a set number, but I definitely have at least 10 issues planned at the current moment of what's been storied out. So in my pledges, like you were saying, I have anywhere from a beginner level tier, I really appreciate backing, all the way up to collector's edition tiers, where you can get every single cover as a metallic cover, so you kind of get a couple in for free in our Dragon Horde tier. And then I have the ultimate collector's edition that comes with a bunch of extra swag, a PVC cover, and some other cool goodies that you wouldn't necessarily get with just a single issue.
Very cool. Yeah, it's an amazing campaign you've got going here. If you're not a part of this already and you're watching this, make sure you jump over to Kickstarter, look for Wolf and I, and go ahead and show that support. We've talked about on my other shows what support actually means, and that could be anywhere from financial all the way up to and including sharing, to go ahead and let everybody else know, because there needs to be a lot more people involved in this, because this is actually a really great project. I like this.
Oh, well, thank you. But I agree with you. Backing and supporting doesn't always necessarily mean monetary, especially in crazy times like this. Just sharing the story, talking about it, telling your friends, even if it's not your thing, it might be somebody else that you know, and word of mouth spreads very fast.
Well, speaking of sharing and going ahead and talking about and trying to support and promote, now we're going to go into the other part of the show because we've given 15 minutes on that. So 15 minutes, y'all need to go over there to Wolf and I, see what's going on, support, share, do what we do best in the DemoNation. Go ahead and move that thing around. Now, we're going to go ahead and start off. I've set some up over here to kind of get us started. We're kind of going in order of what's going to end first and then leading up from there. I had to be kind of cautious and look at these beforehand because there were some that were pushing the boundaries of what Facebook will and will not allow, mostly will not. So I had to make sure that everything was okay on that. So what we're going to do is we're going to scroll through, take a look at it, and see what we think and kind of bounce ideas off of one another and just kind of move on to the next one. So we'll start off with the Inverse Press 10th Anniversary Collector's Box of Horror.
Ooh.
Now, first and foremost, whenever you see and read that, you're thinking 10th anniversary and collector's box. That gets my attention because that's something showing that a company's been around for 10 years. This is a celebration. So whenever you scroll through, you start looking at things that are involved in this. And yes, if you're afraid of clowns, I apologize ahead of time. But
Close your eyes.
Just peek a little bit. You're okay.
Oh, I like that it comes in a collector's box.
It comes in a collector's box, but also it is now because of one of these stretch goal things. I will say this. You see right here, I'm showing with the mouse on here, you can see where it's actually got the print on the inside of the box.
Yeah.
They have made that goal and the wallpaper inside that actually has the Clown Town wallpaper. So
That's
this is not just a
exciting.
regular box, like a cardboard box that you would throw away. This is something where they're putting some extra love into what you're actually opening up. I could store anything into this if I wanted to, not just their books, but it looks nice to go ahead and store somewhere as well.
And I'm a big fan of foil, if you guys didn't notice before.
Absolutely. And it does come with, whenever anything that you back on this one comes with Clown Town Zero Foil Edition, and it is numbered in the order that you are a backer on this. So
wow.
It is serial numbered, done. They will never do this again.
Wow. And it looks like they have created many, like this isn't their first, this isn't their second Kickstarter. This is their 46th created Kickstarter, or this may be their 47th.
Yeah, they've been doing this for a while. They have Flesh of White, Scissor Sisters, Ride of the Four Horsemen, of course, Clown Town. I mean, they've done so many different things. In 10 years, you tend to do a few titles.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It looks like they have a great project on this. As far as I'm concerned, I am backer number one.
Wow.
So I get number one serial number, Clown Town Zero on that. So I'm sorry, but this one means a lot to me to get done. So get over there and get on board. It's well worth it.
Where's Jim Noble?
Next up, Killaroo. Whenever I was going through this, it kind of caught my attention because you've got a kangaroo story, science fiction, fantasy. I don't know that much about it. They already went up in price.
Ooh, look at that.
Now, so they're getting tempo off of this. The covers look interesting. It's a kind of a parody comic, I guess is what you would call it. But it looks like it's got some some chops to it because, like we just witnessed there, the value went up just as we were watching it.
Oh yeah, that's always exciting. You're like, oh yes, it went up. It went up.
But I mean, the interior pages look great.
I like the color, like the color scheme that they have. It goes well together.
To me, it looks like a great project. I think it looks like a fun one to go ahead and read and have in the collection. So if you haven't looked this one up,
a lot of textures in their pages, which are really like eye-popping.
So this is Killaroo, and I mean, it looks pretty decent. I think it looks like it's something that you might want to look into. And they have decent tiers on here for it, and this is coming from Australia, so it's going to be a little more expensive because it's coming from Australia.
Shipping.
But that is with the shipping included. So the price is shipping included.
Wow. I want to know where they're shipping through. When I looked at shipping to Australia, it was an arm and a leg and then some.
Oh, here we go. It's from Australia, but it's printed and shipped in the USA. That's how they're getting away with it.
Ah, that makes
works.
sense. Hey, I mean, whatever works, right?
Absolutely. Next up, we have Discordia.
Ooh, Discordia.
So if you have a hankering for something,
Oh, look at them! Look at them go!
Yeah, if you're looking for a horror
I'm having
comic,
way too much fun.
there are some decent horror comics that are out there. There are some that try to push the envelope a little bit more and everything. This one actually has a nostalgia feel to it.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at the title on here, the way that the text is and all. It just looks like it has that nostalgia feel of the older horror stories, which really gets my attention right off the bat.
Mm-hmm. And just the vivid differentiation, the darkness versus the bright red, just really makes it like eye-popping and stand out.
I like the fact that they input a map in here as well, so that you can kind of see the world that they're building. I love whenever they do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I am a fan of the black box texting. So whenever you really want to convey evil, that's how you do it.
I like that. I have not seen it very often, but I really think it pops and really differentiates, good versus evil when you have that black box. Oh, look at those textures. Like it just, no words. It just, you could hear the sound of things exploding looking at that image.
Exactly. I'm liking what they have to offer on this. And I mean,
Mm-hmm.
for the cover on that thing, look at how much is involved in it, but it's still enough where you can, it would be nice to go ahead and slab that thing.
Yeah.
But I like the different characters, and it's like they tell a story just off of the page itself. You don't even have to read up on them at this point. You already got some kind of backstory just from what you're seeing. Wow.
Now, are these all the different, these are variant covers. These are all different variant covers.
These are all variant covers, yes.
Wow, that's a lot of variant covers. Like good, like they very themed. Like, are they, I missed it. Were they by different artists or are they by the same artist?
So there's Vlad. Yeah, they're different artists.
Okay.
Davari.
For being different artists, they're very like fluid. They really like hold the same colors and the same like tone that the interiors seem to have.
They do, because they still have the same flow, so it doesn't look like you're dealing with completely different styles on here, which is very interesting. I say give it a look and see what's going on with it, and if you like horror comics, jump on board. That looks like something to definitely get on board and see what they've got going on.
Yeah, even for somebody who's not a big horror fan, like the artwork on that is very like, come hither.
All right, next up we have, slowly loading here, Freaky Tale featuring 3 Thorns.
Ooh, and they are almost funded.
They are very close to being funded.
Mm-hmm.
318 backers, and they're still pushing on that. So they have done some work on this one.
Yeah, they have.
So it's actually it's an oversized comic. It is not your regular size comic, which that's a plus right there.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like it's got 3 different stories mixed in, is what I'm seeing on here, and the interiors look amazing.
Mm-hmm. That looks really nice. I like that. The brightness, the character, like the fact that they've like broken down the characters so you can see them.
That's a lot of detail for the interiors. That looks good.
Mm-hmm. I will say most books I look at are not quite as detailed on the interior. They save all that for the exterior. The interior is more simplified, but this looks like you're getting the same quality inside and out.
Exactly. So that first one was the first story. So this is the second story. So we've got another story that we can see the interiors as well. And you can tell there's a different, it's a different style of interior.
Mm-hmm.
That looks really good. I mean, it's, I like whenever you have different styles and to go ahead and make it a larger book and everything where you have different stories, because that way you don't get fixed onto one, read all the way through it, and yeah, you enjoy it, but you can actually have 3 of them in there to where you can really get into all 3 of them, and then somehow or some way I'm sure they're going to connect.
I like this. It reminds me very of like a late 90s, early 2000s coloring style drawings, the second story at least. See, now this looks like a completely different art style again.
Mm-hmm.
Still good, still really highly detailed interiors.
It is, and a lot of color that's in there that goes ahead and tells the story as well. So, because I'm not seeing, there's no lettering on this one.
Mm-mm. And I don't know if it's just in the sample. There's no lettering, like potentially there'll be lettering in the interiors, but even without the lettering, you can tell what's going on in the scene.
Right. Now here are the regular covers. So you can see those up top, A, B, and C. So again, you can tell the definite difference between the storylines from the covers themselves, and the interiors mimic what the covers are, which is very nice. So we've got some of the variants now are coming up, and those look good.
Mm-hmm.
So basically what they're doing is they're taking something where no matter what style you're looking for, they have something that's going to fit your wants and needs on here, and you'll be able to jump on board with this project. That's some smart thinking on that.
Yeah, and I like that they have the variants broken down by pictures together like that.
Exactly.
So you really know what you're getting.
They put their work into this one. I like this.
Mm-hmm. I like that they have a couple black and white covers too. I feel like a lot of campaigns don't always have those.
Now, are they considering these black and whites, or are they considering these the coloring covers? Because I know those are something that are coming up too.
That is true. I didn't think about that.
Let me look through some of these tiers real quick and see if I can find that. They're actually, the value is there.
Look at that bundle. Yeah. That is very well priced. Okay, and I like that they're showing the digital versions too, down at the bottom. I think that's what that is.
Exactly. It looks like they're just black and white is all I'm seeing so far, because they didn't say anything about coloring.
Mm-hmm.
Which is not necessarily a bad thing. I'm just trying to figure out which way it is on that. They look nice. I like it. I would say give it a shot. Go take a look at it. See what's happening with it. Now, next up, this is one that I know quite a bit about.
Oh, yes.
Pops Van Zant is out in the audience right now. He knows a little bit about this one too. Just a hair.
Yes, and they have been doing so good, and they still have 2 weeks left to go, which is crazy. I can't wait to see where they end.
So if you're not familiar with Mojo Rising, well, shame on you, and you need to go ahead and find out about it anyway. But this one's up here because we're going to talk about it, because the vivid colors that are involved in
I love that, neon.
Amazing. But yeah, this right here just draws you in and gets you involved in the story automatically. It's like you just want to know more about what's going on and get directly involved into it. Now, as far as stretch goals, what they've unlocked so far, the 5x7 studio print, the tarot card, the 2x8 bookmark, a trading card, the Mojo Dough, which I like the sound of that. $13
bill. I like that too. The $13 bill. I love that.
4 pages of art, which is good, and then we are right there at the $4,500 mark to go ahead and catch what's on, what you can unlock there, which should be, I'm hoping, another tarot card, because I love the tarot cards.
Ooh, it does look tarot card shaped, and that would be really cool, especially as they, you could collect more and more of them.
So Raj Mahan is the one that does this through Outlaw Studio underneath the Third Empire banner. And Raj and Manny Soto working on this particular title, and they nailed it.
Mm-hmm. They get a free strand of Mardi Gras beads. That's epic.
Oh, yes. So they're already well past that on backers. So
yeah.
If you didn't get in on that on the beginning, you don't get the free strand of beads on there, but they do have a tier on here where you can get beads.
Oh, well, that's good. I like the fact that they have all of their stretch goals, their backer stretch goals, and then when they are meeting them, they're highlighting them in green. That way you still know what you're expecting, but then what's unlocked.
Well, it gives the importance back to the actual stretch goals, because as fans and followers trying to go ahead and get this thing not only funded and made up and all, we want to see how far we can take this. So it gets you excited the more that you see those things highlighted, and you want to see more highlighted as you go along. So absolutely, I'd love to see all the way across the board. Let's just see green all the way across there. Unlock it all.
Yeah. I like that because it really brings your attention to it too.
There is Pops Van Zant's character where he is immortalized in a comic.
Ooh, that is a really fun. I've seen some stretch goals or some tiers on Kickstarters do that, where you're higher level tiers, and if you back this, then you'll be drawn into the next comic.
See, and I like how they have the darker colors whenever they're conveying that something eerie or whatever is coming up, and then whenever they have something that goes along with the main character being Mojo, then the green really shows up and brings attention to it. I like that.
No, I like that too, because it really, like you said, it draws your attention. They've got these brilliant greens, purples, these neon colors that just really pop. And just, they have that evil magic, evil villain, connotation behind them too. I mean, if you look at historically at villains and bad guys, you'll see a lot of that. Greens and purples. Oh, Pops is a reoccurring character and owns the bar. Even better.
And for those of you that don't know, Manny Soto actually did the banner that's back behind everything we're doing right now. This says DemoNation, that has all the really fancy and bright colors and everything. That's Manny Soto that went ahead and did that for me on that. So he has got some serious talent in what he does.
Sweet.
And they've also got Artex working for him on this as well.
They've got a lot of really good people working with them on this.
Absolutely. Third Empire is making an impact on this one with their with this one coming out. Has done very well. And I don't think I remember whenever I had Raj on my show not too long ago, he was very surprised that this is done as well as it has right off the bat. And I told him, I said, there was no way that it wasn't going to. I mean, it was something that everybody was excited about from the beginning. But whenever you put that much color and that much passion into your work that you're doing on that and then present it out there, it moves. So yeah, as far as I'm concerned, I cannot wait to get my copy of this, because yes, I did back it as well. No, I did not make backer number 1, so before everybody starts asking in the audience on that one. I wasn't overachieving on this one.
I mean, it is a comic that looks like it is one to collect and keep.
I am definitely looking forward to it, and if you don't know enough about Mojo Rising, jump over there, get on board, show them some love over there. Definitely, as we keep saying on here, show the support. If you can't financially, go ahead and back them on this right now for whatever reason. Nobody's going to slight you on that, but go ahead and share it. Go ahead and let everyone else know so that someone else out there can go ahead and find out if they like it as much as everyone else does and jump on here and make this thing happen. Because it's coming. We're just trying to make more money to make the second one happen. So now we're going to move on to Nevermore.
Ooh.
This one was interesting because the colors caught my attention.
Look at it go. I swear you click on it and all of these Kickstarters gain people the moment you click on them.
Well, maybe I got the touch today. I don't know.
You got the touch today.
But this one looked interesting because the colors alone got my attention, which is good because you want to get the attention right off the bat. I am a huge Edgar Allan Poe fan.
I was going to say what really got me was the Nevermore is a Victorian Gothic tribute to Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven. I love The Raven and everything else that Edgar Allan Poe put out. So that really was just like, oh, hey.
That cover has got my serious attention.
That is intense. It is like a, wow, look at me. Contrast.
That's something that I want to put up where everybody can see it, just like on every episode of the shows that I do and everything. I just want to show it off. But whenever you go through, I kind of looked at this beforehand, like I said, but whenever you're going through, it's not just what's on the outside that's important. It's what, you got to make sure the interior is going to be good as well. This right here screams Edgar Allan Poe to me. It is so dark that you barely can see anything there. That's Edgar Allan Poe. I am unfamiliar with Justin Bisma, I think is his name. Bisma or Bisma. If I did it wrong, I apologize, but...
and this is his first Kickstarter, too.
But I've never seen or heard of him or anything. But for him to come out with this kind of impact coming out and this kind of artistic ability of getting this done, I'm impressed.
And it looks like he's a Canadian artist, maybe?
That's what it looks like, yes. Yeah, I believe it's Canadian.
Hey, we all start somewhere. And it just takes one step in the right direction, and then you learn and you meet people and you grow and the community grows together. Look at that. I love the purple raven there.
Exactly. Because it's not just the dark of the book. What I love about this one, look back behind. It's the poem.
And you can see like through the raven too. You can see the words through it.
That is phenomenal.
I like that. I love that like fade where you can have multiple images on top of each other and one like fades into the other. I would
love to have that as a print. I can say that right now. And that's the interiors of the pages on there. They included the poem. Good job. And then there's another one on here. So there's Nevermore and there's Absence. And Absence looks a lot more dark than Nevermore even is.
Oh, wow.
Very different in the same aspect. I like what he's doing. And he included a self-portrait that he's done with the characters in the background. That is different. You don't see that. If you're a fan of dark, gothic, Edgar Allan Poe, nice dark horror comics, or with the poetry prose aspect to it, this may be exactly what you've been looking for on that end. In fact, I know some people that I need to share this with to get them to go ahead and look at it as well. December Lakes. I'm going to go ahead and call you out on that because I know you're going to watch this later on, so you need to get a hold of this one. I will send you the link. But this is amazing. I mean, I think he did a really good job.
Yeah, no, it looks really good.
And I'm scrolling through because I want to see if he actually did everything himself or if he had some help on this. Oh, and this, there is a 8.5 by 9 7/8 inch wall decor that's wood that you can get on one of the tiers as well. So something totally different that you can have on the wall to go ahead and show off.
No, that is really cool. Ooh, that purple. I just love that purple that he uses. And the teal, it's like the purple, the teal, that blue, like the combination.
Exactly. Oh, and those are prints, by the way, too. So I had mentioned I wanted it as a print. There it is.
There it is.
He has the stickers, which are amazing looking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we definitely, y'all need to go over and take a look at this one, see what you think. Definitely support on this one as well. Independent creators have got some amazing content. I've said it in several different shows. I know everybody knows it already, but this is what the whole point of this kind of show is to go ahead and showcase that you don't have to be in the big two. You don't have to be making $400,000 to $2 million per project that you're doing out there to go ahead and be noticed. This right here is getting noticed right now. Now, I may not have 500 followers and everything that are doing this and watching this live right now, but it will go through the motions and it will get noticed along the way. And maybe the next time we go look at that, the money that is made on there, we'll see that start going up again as well, because I think he deserves it on this one. This is a good project.
Oh, yeah. It looks fantastic.
All right, moving on, we're going to go to the pits.
Ooh, this looks like
a lot of my, I've seen a lot of my Facebook friends and whatnot that have actually, it'll give me notices letting me know that they're actually backing this. So I wanted to take a look at it. Ryan Shimmick.
Ryan, I don't know if I know Ryan Shimmick.
He does Lock and Key and Spencer and Lock, I believe. I believe are the ones that he's done in the past. The style of the art I like as far as the cover and all.
Yeah, it looks very, like when it says action-packed, the art is really portraying it. It's not just saying, oh, I'm action-packed and then not being.
So for the first stretch goal, you get an enamel pin, which is nice because it's something different, because it's not your basic round, everything fits on the one pin scenario. It actually sticks out a little bit, which I like.
Yeah,
it makes it
fun.
Unique. And here's somebody that some people may know on here as well. Travis Gibb at $2,000 is doing a 4-page Pitts mini story in here as well, which is interesting because Travis has done quite a few other things that have been very successful. His broke down in 4 Dead Bodies has done very well. And then the logo magnet is unlocked.
So it looks like they've got some pretty fun stretch goals.
Logo air freshener. How long has it been since we've seen an air freshener on a stretch goal? I can't remember the last time.
I don't know if I've ever seen a air freshener on a stretch goal.
That is great. But I like it whenever they think outside the box and don't try to do the absolute normal. There are some things that you can't get around, but every once in a while you want to put something out there that makes you go,
that's
wow,
different.
That's amazing.
Like the wood coasters.
Yes.
I love those. So different.
Yeah, Matt Knowles and Steph Cannon did that for Tales of Nocturnia. They had the wooden coasters on there for dragons on there, and that's already been done, so we can't show that campaign, of course, but it was very successful and definitely worth it.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. We have got Ryan Shimmick in the audience right now. Ryan, thank you for being here.
Oh, Ryan, welcome in.
Ryan, we're going over your crowdfunding right now. In case you didn't hear earlier, we're only speaking positive about anything, no negativity, but we're really liking it and just kind of going through and seeing what we like about it.
Shimmy. Oh, look at that. Look at the details in like the wall there, and just gives it really like depth. Like it looks like they're in a gladiator arena where there's crowds in the background.
Well, you can feel the energy from the arena. That's what you want to convey whenever you have some form of art like this, and you can definitely feel that.
Ooh, look at that. Off
Little
with
bit of
his head.
blood. Nothing wrong with a little bit of blood. We're okay with that. I have nothing against that. I'm just making sure
Can't
Facebook
really
doesn't
be action filled without a little bit of blood.
Well, technically you could, but then again, with that much action.
You're like, it's questionable.
But I mean, even the action sequences that are in here are done very well, and enough detail in there
that your mind can kind of fill in as it's going, transitioning from one to the next one. And just the emotion portrayed too. You can just feel like the heat and passion in that battle.
So we've got a few different covers on here. So we've got this one here, which is by Ray Lay. We're going to try that one. If I get these wrong, please do not shoot me later on this one. I'm doing my best on this one.
Look at that. I like that contrast between the dark and the fire in the background.
So immediately, whenever I look at this one, I immediately think Game of Thrones.
Yes.
It has that look to it.
Mm-hmm. I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, man, that reminds me of something, and I can't put my finger on it. That's what it is. That cover reminds me of Game of Thrones.
Here is Matt Sotelo. Did this one here, which shows the conflict between the two, which we saw on the interiors, where they actually have some level of respect that they meet up on there. It's got my attention on trying to find out what's going on with this.
Mm-hmm.
And then the cover that we saw at the top up there. Ryan, I'm going to tell you, it looks like you've got a good one here, and I would go ahead and tell everyone they need to go ahead and go over here and show some love and support to this one as well, and get the attention out there. You've also got a book that you did before, The Manifestation of Light, and I like that you actually attach that into a lot of the tiers, so that way they can see your novel that you've done as well. Yeah, definitely. Go ahead and take a look at this one on Kickstarter. If you're looking for the pits, go look for it, show it off, share it, get it out there, support it if you can, in any way that you possibly can. Get some attention on this one. It's a good one. Ryan, get it. All right, we're going to move on to 4. This one was different because, if I'm not mistaken, this is 3 different stories as well. And I like that concept that they had with this. But look at the initial artwork in this thing. Just look at the main page. It's just, you see so much.
Mm-hmm. Highly, highly detailed.
But you can also see different styles too. So I'm sure there's different variants, of course, we're looking at. But also there's different styles from the different artists that are involved.
Yeah. Ooh, that looks really good. That whole like gray cast coloration of the evil side, and then the bright, more royal colors of the good side.
So even with something like this, and this is just to bring up a small point, and please don't want anybody to think that I'm a professional in this, because I'm not. I may act like one on TV, but I am actually not. So with this particular thing here, whenever I'm looking at comics and all, and I see a scene like this where the sun or the light or whatever is coming in,
Mm-hmm.
I've seen so many people I won't say ruin the effect on there, but they take away from it because they're trying to put so much light in there that it gets that much attention. It takes away from all the texture and all of the detail. This one does not have that issue. So I want to point that out, that you can definitely see everything that you need to see in there, almost making it like a portrait style.
Mm-hmm.
They did a really good job on that.
Yeah, I really like that. It's so hard sometimes, even with the best intentions, to like not go overboard or under highlight that you're trying to spot with a hot spot like that. Ooh, look at that blue. They just make it pop.
It does.
I mean, it just screams magic.
And I love how they have, I guess it's like a portal of some kind, and they really put that blue in there to really make it shine, but it doesn't take away from the rest of the artwork, which is nice.
No, it doesn't. Like it really stands out from it without overpowering.
Also, am I seeing this? I think you're seeing this too, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the necklaces or whatever are glowing the same blue, so they're probably opening the portal. So they're,
It is.
yeah,
Look at them. There's more of them there. Interesting. That's like really spotlighting and you know who's on which side with that.
but look at the light sourcing. How much detail is on there, and how much it's. I mean, it's actually putting the light sourcing the right way.
Hmm.
That's a great job on the artwork on this.
Hmm. They have a lot of really bright, like contrasting colors, like catch your eye.
They definitely do. That's something else you want to take a look at it and see. It looks like it's got 3 different stories that are involved. Yeah, because here's the last one on here.
Now, see, this one is interesting because it's all. I wonder if it's all black and white. It has a very like cowboy versus Indies Wild Wild West feel to it.
Exactly. It looks like it is going to be in black and white, and that's going to be interesting because I like that.
Interesting.
Absolutely. We got some good ones that come up here on the randomizer, so I mean, this came out good. Now, we've got just enough time to do one more, so I've actually got this one. I wanted to make sure we did this one because this one caught my attention anyway. They're doing rather well, don't get me wrong, and they still have 25 days.
Wow.
So many people have done the Oz stories. This is the
Mhm.
OZ. This is something different. This is not just Oz. This is the OZ. And I like this because this is taking Oz and making it the occupied zone. I love that.
Interesting. That's definitely a new take. I've seen like rewritten versions of Oz. I've seen like modernized Oz. I've seen them take the other Wizard of Oz books because there were multiple books in the series, and I've seen them do side stories based on the other books. But this is definitely one that I have not seen before.
Well, it gives a much darker story to the
Mhm.
Oz stories, which we've seen before, yes, but
Yeah.
this gives more of a wartime or post-apocalyptic wartime story.
Hmm.
But I mean, there's your flying monkeys. You can't have an Oz story without a flying monkey.
Mm-mm. There's the Emerald City.
Dorothy Gale looks a little bit different than she did from the Wizard of Oz.
Hmm. This is definitely going to be an interesting one. It's a very like sepia toned coloring style. Ooh.
I like it. I mean, it's got a lot of detail in here. And then whenever some of the flashbacks she's having, I mean, this is just...
Oh, yeah. It's highly detailed. Really in depth. Hey, I know Ruben. They've got some really good people, it looks like, in here.
So it looks like that's the standard cover, is this one right here. So let's see if we can see some of the variants. There we go. So there's one of the, wow.
That one's cool.
That's interesting. Who is that one? That is Man House.
I don't know Man House.
I don't either, but I like the style. And here is Rio Burton.
Okay, with fly monkeys. I like that. It's got that classic, like, main character, side character, and then further back, lesser characters.
And Kenneth Wagner. And that is a totally different cover on there. That is...
There's so much detail. Like, that, I'm literally like, I don't even know where my eyeballs should look. There's just so much to see in that cover.
And you can only imagine it's got to look so much more detailed in your hands than it does just on the digital. Yeah. But it looks like they ran over one of the monkeys down here.
It'll be interesting if they do it in, like, what type of cover stock that they do it on, too. Because that can really even make a good cover 10 times better.
Oh, if you could just add foil to that thing, it would scream off of the cover.
Mm-hmm.
So, second stretch goal, you get the comic size Yellow Brick Road Warrior, and that's a print that you'll get, that everybody will get from that.
Oh, that's cool. I like the glow coming off the street.
I did notice where they're actually giving the script in PDF format whenever you go ahead and back it. I like that because that way you can see behind the curtain, pun intended. Mm-hmm. This looks good. I mean, this looks really good.
Oh, I remember when that challenge went around, the 6 fan arts. So is that must be from the artists themselves, just the art style.
Right. That's just showing some of the artwork that he's done in the past with it, or on different stuff, just to show the art style.
Mm-hmm.
This looks good. I would say definitely give that a look, see what's going on. I backed it because the Oz books are hot anyway, and then to do something that's Occupied Zone, that's something totally different on top of that.
Yeah,
I like the idea. So we're right at time where we're almost done with this. So I want to go ahead and finish up with, let me go ahead and take this off here real quick. So first off, Krysta, thank you for being here. I appreciate you being here with me today. And the main thing is I need everybody in the audience to go ahead and remember that support means so many different things. So whenever you're on here and you're seeing all these great projects that are going on, it doesn't always mean you have to back every single one financially, but it doesn't take anything to go ahead and use the power of the finger to go ahead and hit that share button and make sure that you can get it out to everybody you possibly can, so that the independent creators can keep making what they're doing, making here, keep doing what they're doing and doing what they love. People like Krysta right here, who's doing Wolf and I. She's done number 1. We're on number 2, which is funded right now, which is great. And then we're moving forward because the more money you make off of this, you can go into number 3, and then so on and so forth. So if you want to see more work from some great independent creators that are out there, like Krysta, hit that share button, get out there. Let's go ahead and make sure we share this out and get the information out there. And I'll be up here with a different guest host each time to go ahead and go over some things, and we'll find out what's out there and try to get it your way and present it to you. So again, thank you, Krysta, for being here so much. Wish you the best on Wolf and I, And if you
Thank
need
you so
anything from the DemoNation, you let us know.
Thanks for having me on the show today. Thanks, Scott.
Yeah, he's definitely talking to you. He's not talking to me about my haircut.
Feels like, oh, thanks, Scott. My hair is so beautiful.
I fixed my hair right before the show, so I wanted to make sure. On that note, thank you everyone for being here for the inaugural show today for Comic Legion. If you notice, Comic Legion, the word Legion is actually capitalized all the way across there. I did that for a reason. Comic is not capitalized, but Legion is. Legion is going to refer to the unity that we have within the industry. Right now, more than ever, we need to show that unity and quit fighting with each other over who's going to be better in everything we do. There is an opportunity for people to work together and come out of here not just unscathed, but come out of here with where we start getting the spotlight on the independent nation and not on everybody else. So in coming out of all the stuff that's going on in current events right now, I say it's best to go ahead and start right now with a foundation. That way, whenever we come out of this, we set the new standard. We don't go back to a different normal. So until next time, thank you very much for being here, Krysta. I look forward to talking to you again here in the near future. And good luck to your project. And if anybody hasn't backed your project, get on there now.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful